All right, here is Canvas. This is a copy of my Launchpad. So Canvas is where we house some of the PDCP tasks and some of the information that I'll post and the newsletters that I'll do or video meetings that we'll do. And this is where you'll upload your task to be graded. Okay, so there are many different, there's like pieces that all come together for PDCP. So it's not housed in one Canvas site, but on Canvas, you can access the different pieces. All right, so when you sign into Canvas, you needed to accept the invite so that it shows up on your dashboard. And then this is what your screen will look like. It has a meet the team, course overview, resources, and the modules. Okay, these I need to update. The completion checklist, yours is different now because that's from 1920. The mentoring schedule, all of this is old items. And when we transferred the summer from Blackboard to Canvas, we just took everything and not we, I should say Kelly, just took everything and moved it over. So now it needs to be updated. And as I mentioned, as I was updating and setting my whole plan for this year, it's all been nixed along the way, or I've had to change it along the way. So I do plan on having this all up to date next week and really focusing my time on that next week. So then I will let you know when everything is ready for you to go through and peruse and look at. Okay, there are tasks. Again, you have 20 tasks that you'll have to do. Those are your portfolio tasks. And you'll be able to click on here and go through and look at them a little bit when we're going to get to this live site in a few minutes. So I'm just kind of walking right there. So the task, this is where you submit it, but then the state portal that we're going to go to, I hope. New share. So the state portal is where I gave you the sign in. That was D-05 and your first initial last name. That's where you sign in here. Is the screen changing as I click?
Yes.
Awesome. So the task list, these are all the tasks that you're going to have to do. Okay. We don't do down here, and I don't know if that shows up on yours, the DACP, only the PDCP tasks right here. When you click on these tasks and open it up for more information, it takes you through a task description. It takes you through the directions, and then it gives you what has to be submitted. And it also gives you a rubric for grading. We're going to, Kelly, do you think it'd be better for you to go over a task thing here? Or do you think just finish this PowerPoint and then you go through it specifically?
I think if you finish the PowerPoint and then I can go into the state site and show them the live state site, the documents and stuff if you want.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So the state site, make sure you are looking here for the directions. The directions are very specific. This task 1 is simple. This is one of the easiest tasks. Task 1 and task 2 are just kind of getting you familiar with it and having you sign your professional conduct code and getting familiarity with the state site. But this is where the directions are. This is where we really look at the information to make sure that you are understanding. And this aligns to the FEAPS, the Florida Education Competencies. And that's what you're evaluated on. And that's what we have to make sure that we are training you in also. Because if you would have went to a state college for education, that is what they would have trained you in. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. All right, so that is the state site, and we're going to go over a bigger chunk of it and have Kelly explain one of the tasks and how we use it. All right, so again, you'll sign in with the D05. There's a participant home. This is what it looks like when you sign in. This person has not done any tasks, so it kind of shows you what you've done. and whether they're scored or not. So there's two places that we put your scores. We put them in the Canvas, and we also put them in the state site.
I
Okay.
was just typing that.
Yep. There are resources for you to look at. Make sure you go through these resources. The lesson plan template you will use for a lot of the different lessons that you have to do for the unit plans and the like rubric and differentiated instruction. So there's a task order work line information and task list. So the work line, the task order information, it used to be that you had to go through, like, completed in order, test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. And when I started looking at that, we're trying to make this work smarter, not harder, because we saw how some of these tasks are really overarching, so that you can complete unit plan 1, and within unit plan 1, you can include the rubric-based assessment, you can include a parent-teacher-student conference, and you can include your communication plan. So I'm creating a template for you that will show you which tasks you're going to do together and what order you're going to do them in. So this, again, was based on last year's PDCP cohort and how they had to do items, okay? And we found that it was too segmented and way too much repetition of information and asking you to do the same thing again and again. The reason that we've moved away from this is because the state keeps asking you to have more and more and more reading training and more, you know, different things that you have to do at the school level and stuff. So we want to make it viable for you, you know, manageable for you to do this. And we want to make it meaningful, you know. When I was in the classroom, I did everything kind of, you know, I would create my unit plan, I would look at what I needed to do, and it included, you know, of course I had my goals and strategies, of course I had communication along with the parents and stuff. These are just things that you do naturally within the classroom. And I know at the elementary level now with the new reading series, everything is really laid out for you, and you'll be utilizing that reading series. So your lesson plans are pretty much done. You're just going to have to put it into the frame of the PDCP requirements. All right. On some of the resources, it also shows like which ones require students' work, so that you can think of which ones are no student work required that you can get done on the weekend. You can sit down and really look at it when you have time. Which ones require professional development, tasks that have prerequisites. So of course you have to do goals and strategies 1 before you do goals and strategies 2. The communication plan, higher order thinking, unit 1, and rubric-based assessments are self-created documents. You know, I don't want to see any Pinterest work. I don't want to see any teacher pay teacher work. And one shockingly bump that I found last year was I have a large group of teachers working at the same school, and I found that they were all doing tasks together and then submitting the same work, and their jobs didn't even align. It's like, how could I be teaching ESE 3rd grade and Caitlin teaches PE, but we're submitting the same work and have the same lesson plans? So again, when you sign up for this, you are signing that you're going to adhere to the code of conduct, that you're doing your own work, that you're submitting your work. You're not finding somebody who did PDCP 2 years ago and copying their work, or, you know, finding a teammate in your building and doing what they did, okay? So please make sure it is your work. And I know with the new reading series, you have to use the reading series, but, you know, how can you modify that, or how can you add to that? You can use pieces of it, but add to it. Again, these are the tasks from that site, from the state site. You click on it for more information, and it opens up and it really highlights everything for you. It has the directions we're going to go over in a few minutes in depth. It has what to submit. Make sure that you are submitting what to submit. And then this is where you go back to Canvas, and you're going to submit on Canvas, okay? And then it shows you, it'll give you grades as to what you've had graded, what has not been graded. And I know this is a ton of information. You're able to print a report for yourself also that shows what has been graded, demonstrated. You have to have demonstrated on all of these. You cannot have anything that has to be fixed, okay? It has to be demonstrated. Otherwise, you have to redo that task. All right, you can see here, this is a report for somebody that was in PDCP, and you can see when theirs was graded, who graded it, and whether, and that they had demonstrated on all of them, so they were a completer. This is what else I wanted to show you. So today in the mail, a lanyard went out, and it does say PDCP on it. If you open the lanyard right there in the middle, oh, if I can open it, let me see. It comes apart, and that's your USB. Everything you do will be saved on this USB, and at the end, when you complete, you mail it back to me in the courier, and then I go through and make sure that you have everything saved in a folder and labeled, so that if we ever get audited, I have proof that you know, our program was done with fidelity and honesty, and that you have met the FEATS requirements and the state of Florida requirements for the PDCP program, because Dinah Kramer and I and the directors have to sign off that you have done this. So we are saying you completed the program with fidelity. You met all of the requirements and you demonstrated the FEATS accomplished practices. So please make sure that as soon as you get this, you start saving some of your items on it. You can save your, you will save your like general knowledge reports or the different certificates that you've taken and endorsements that you've added. You'll save all of that on here as well. Okay. This is not an independent program, but kind of an independent program because you have to find time to work on this. We will have meetings monthly in which you can join. Not all of them will be required, but some of them are highly encouraged. Some of them will be required. Don't wait until the end to do your work. If you have to take the professional education exams, don't wait until the end to do that. Don't wait until the end to complete your tasks. I do a s'mores newsletter with little tips and meetings and different things that are coming up. Read that. Reach out to the assessors. I will send you the updated assessor list. I do have to add 2 more people though, because one assessor was doing 2 tasks and she moved out of state. So I have to bring somebody in and train them. But our assessors are here to help you. They have been doing this a long time. Last night I had a mentoring meeting and I had 6 assessors on there that were willing to help, reach out, you know, having conversations, discussing with you if you don't understand what differentiated instruction means, or you don't understand what higher order thinking questions are. You know, we are here to help. We want for you to be successful. Have a conversation with your administration also. I cannot tell you how many times they're looking at you as a new teacher and saying, oh, look, kind of fresh meat. Here's somebody to take on yearbook. Here's somebody to take on beta club. Here's somebody to take on all these other projects. And now you're like, how do I have time to work on my PDCP tasks? Your PDCP task getting completed is your job. So even though it's fun to be a soccer coach, even though it's fun to be a volleyball coach, you still have to find time to complete these tasks and to do the requirements. Okay? Make a plan. I am happy to have a meeting with you, come out to your school. I love coming out to the schools, and we can sit and make a plan together. We can have conversations about maybe something you're struggling in. And, you know, I am here to support you as the assessors are as well. Okay? So I am going to stop sharing. And then Kelly, do you want to share? Does anybody have any questions before we move into the next section?
Lisa, I have a question.
Sure.
About the reading comp endorsements. My title has changed and the requirement, it looked like, has changed from when I first started. So the 3 reading comp courses I've taken, do those count? And do I have to continue taking 2 more?
For what you're teaching now, and as long as you're certified in that, or you pass that exam, you do not have to take 2 more at this time. So if you have already passed the exams, if you've already taken some of the reading endorsement classes, those count. You do not need to take them again. And you must be teaching in field. That is a requirement. When you complete this program, you have to be teaching in field. I have to certify that you have been trained and you are competent in what you are teaching. So if, let's say Kelly's teaching ESE this year, next year they decide Kelly's going to be the art teacher. Kelly would have to take the art exam and be certified to teach art, or she cannot finish the program until she passes that exam. Okay?
Okay.
I see you thinking.
I know she looks very stressed right now.
Okay. I need to sit down with somebody and understand what I have to take before the end of this year. And I think that's just because it's changed and I don't know who the right person is to have that conversation with. So maybe you should come and visit me.
Disney, I would love to come visit you. And I will do an audit, and I do send out an audit information as to you have completed Reading Comp 1. You need to take Reading Comp 2. You did not do ESOL. I know that there's some people on here tonight that have not had classroom management yet. So now you have an option. You can either wait until the new classroom management rolls out, or Fiddlers is offering Champs starting October 5th. You can join that Champs course and that will count towards your classroom management. So we do have options. Each of you have completed different things along the way, but the reason you're together in this cohort is because most of you have completed the heavy courses that you need to so far, and mostly have the portfolio tasks and those little like rubric trainings and differentiated instruction PDs that you need. But most of you have completed those big, heavy 60-hour courses already, or have that endorsement for that. Okay. All right. It says, I have 3 TEP certifications: biology, general science, health science. Do I need to pass? No, I need to go in and look and make sure that you are teaching in field. So I pull the AS 400 report and I can see if you're in field or not in field. So, okay.
I had a question.
Sure.
I took the Champs over the summer, but it's not showing up on my ProGo or.
It's still,
I don't know.
I went in and finished them all.
Okay, I'll look again because as of a couple of days ago, it was not showing up on there.
Okay, I'll go in and look tomorrow too. Okay. All right.
And then also, I forgot my other question.
Sorry.
So late in the morning, too late at the night. So I'll come back to you. Circle back.
Okay. All right. Kelly, you want to share and dive into that task and go over it?
You want me to go to the state site first?
Yes. Or do you want me to?
Okay. I can.
Okay.
I think you have a couple of chats that I don't know the answers to.
Yeah, I looked at them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. All right. Where did my state site go?
I don't know.
Right there. Okay, so when you go into the state site, I'm an assessor for 3 tasks that you're going to submit. Can you see my screen, Lisa?
Yep.
Perfect. I assess task 4, task 12, and task 18. And I have found that it's, I don't know how to say this kindly. The directions are not always being read from the state site about what is supposed to be submitted. So Lisa asked me to go to one of the harder tasks, and this is one of the biggest points for tasks. I think it's 36 points, is the unit plan 1, it's task 12. You have to do this one before you do task 18, because that's unit plan 2. So you have to do unit plan 1 first, and it's lengthy. This one's going to take you some time to do. And like she said, here's, the completion steps right here, 1 through 5. That's how it should work. And then down here is everything that needs to be submitted for task 12. And I'll tell you, when I go into grade, I always look to see if all the documents are submitted. And if they're not, I'll look to see what's missing. And I'm going to send you an email and say, hey, you're missing documents, the formative assessments or the pre-assessment is missing. And I don't grade it until all the documents are there because I need all the pieces to see what you were doing. This one requires 3 separate lesson plans. I a lot of times get 1 lesson plan submitted, but it is listed 3 separate lesson plans with interacting with new knowledge, practicing and deepening student knowledge, and then utilizing technology. They can be the same lesson plan, obviously, for the same unit, because this is the unit you're turning in, but it does have to be 3 separate lesson plans. And then the reflection on the bottom, I find a lot people will say, well, who did you discuss your lesson plan with? My mentor. I need to know who that is and what they are in the school. It's like Lisa always likes to tell people, this is a college level type course. So 1-word answers are generally not accepted. Correct spelling and grammar we look for because, again, it's a college level course. And then here's your directions for the how to do it. And this is where the important part is because it's going to explain what the summative assessment is. And then it goes down to the pre-assessment and the formative assessments. It gives you very specific things that you have to do. And if you don't understand that, please email. I am more than willing to explain what's expected in each of those sections so you don't have to turn it in more than 1 time. I'd rather grade it once and then we're both done with that task than have to grade it multiple times. And I did have, I had a couple pre-K teachers last year. Some of this was really hard for them to do, but we came up for a way for it to work for them. So if you have a specific circumstance, bring it to me. I take it to Lisa Stanley and we figure out the best way to do it. And, we're going to work with you to make it work.
And typically we've had somebody that's been I've had PE teachers, I've had,
Right.
ESC teachers, pre-K teachers. The only thing I've not had before is the deaf, hard of hearing teacher. So this is going to be new, Jared.
Uh-oh. All right. Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yep.
But again, we make it work. We try to find the best way to proceed and make it easy, not easy, but easier for you without stressing everyone out because that's completely not what we're here to do. So in the directions, it tells you exactly what you need to do. So for the lesson plans, and this is a big one, and I know you're not going to get to task 12 for a while, so I don't expect you to remember it, but just read completely because the lesson plan, you can click right here and you'll see what the lesson plan looks like. And it's very verbatim what you put in the boxes. This is the big part right here. And I was telling Lisa this earlier. There's an additional information section. You have to tell me what the lesson plan is. Is it introducing new knowledge or interacting with new knowledge, or is it the technology? Because if you don't tell me what it is, I have no clue what to mark off that it's graded. So make sure that you label that. And again, it's in the instructions. So I always come back with, please read the instructions or look at the rubric because that's what I grade from. So then the last thing you'll put in is the reflection, and all the pages are right here for you to print. And there's always a cover sheet. I don't know if that has that on here, the cover sheet.
Yeah, I was just thinking we need to go over the cover sheet too.
Yeah, we do. But I don't see the cover sheet on here, so that might be somewhere else.
I'm trying to scroll, and of course I don't have access, but scroll down.
So all the worksheets you need are right here. In each of the directions, there's got to be
Keep going.
the cover sheet somewhere.
Keep going.
I'm going. Oh, cover sheet right here.
Yep.
Okay. So the what to submit is huge, because if you count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 10 items to submit for this one. Please upload 10 documents. I will get things with maybe 4 items submitted, and I just sit there and think, okay, what if a student did this to the, to you as a teacher type thing. So the reason this one isn't a link, because this is a teacher created assessment. So there's no link for you for the plan. You have to create your own assessment and upload it. And it does say to upload an answer key or rubric of how that's being graded. So here's all the items you're going to submit. The cover sheet is what Lisa just wanted me to go over. So we're going to go over that. Every task that you turn in has a cover sheet to go with it. And when you see it, you'll understand. Or I'm on the slowest computer in Brevard County. Okay, so on your cover sheet, you're going to put your first and last name.
It's not open yet.
Oh, do I need to reshare it to you? Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just did that too. It was open on my screen. I expected you to be able to see it. I'm sorry.
Back and forth.
Can you see it now?
Yep.
Okay. So, of course, you're going to put your first and last name. The task, if you take it straight from the state side, I think it puts the task in there for you because I didn't type that. This is the subject area that you teach. If you teach grade 3, all subjects, tell me 3rd grade, all subjects. And what grade level. This helps me know like what I'm looking at on your lesson plan. And then here, this section, I get many tasks turned in, and this is completely blank. I would say the best rule of thumb here is don't leave anything blank on any of your tasks. At least not on the 3I grade, but I'm pretty sure nothing should be left blank on any of the tasks.
No, and the thing is when we're assessing this, we have people in here that are teaching pre-K. We have people in here that are teaching honors English. So we need to know, what are we grading your task for? Who is the audience that we're grading for? Who are you submitting this work for? Are you working at a school that has, your students are, you have 25 students, 13 boys, 12 girls,
right?
And you have no ESE students in that class. Or are you working at a school that you have, 25 students and 12 of them are ESE, 5 of them are ESOL, 3 speak, Haitian Creole and are not bilingual? Who are you working with? What are your students? So that we can see, is what you're teaching meeting your students' needs, or are you way off base?
And this blurb right here that you're going to put, you can write a paragraph, you can bullet point it, however you want to do this right here, but giving us the information is very helpful. This can be copied and pasted onto your other cover sheets. You don't have to recreate that paragraph every single time because you're still teaching the same students. Now, if you change years or something, then you might want to change it up for the next cover sheets. But I always tell people when I have to send it back, give me a boy-girl ratio, tell me ESE, tell me which ones are ELLs or 504s, how many gifted do you have? Are you Title I? Anything that can help us, like Lisa said, see inside your classroom without physically going to your classroom.
And if you teach secondary, you might teach one class forensics and one class biology. Are you teaching your forensics class this information and your biology class this other information? So make it specific to the class that you're teaching.
Right. See, I'm sorry. I come from an elementary world, so I think we have the same kids. You're correct for secondary. One task, maybe one class or not the other. But yeah, just give us as much insight as possible. I'm never going to come back and say that's too much information. Please scale it back on this part. So, whatever you can give us here would be helpful. And when I go to grade a task, which I will let you know I am behind on grading at this moment, I have quite a few to grade. I print the cover sheet for everybody so I can check off or make notes next to each submission as to what needs to be fixed or what's been turned in or what's been great. But I make notes on every cover sheet so that I know when I email you what I need to say. So that's how I know right away if you've turned in your cover sheet or 3 lesson plans. My first check is just to make sure that everything's been turned in. And then I go through and I grade everything. But if you look here on the cover sheet, it's starred next to the lesson plans. Be certain to note this focus in the additional information section of your lesson plan. Tell me which lesson plan it is for task 12. I'm sure other tasks have a little asterisk as well, you know, for information for you to look at.
Kelly, will you pull up a lesson plan template?
Sure. I will stop share that. I will, oh boy, where was I? Resource Center? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me see if that, nope, I'm going to have to share this now. Sorry, I do a lot of talking to myself. New share. Can you see that?
Not yet. It's thinking still. We used to do this training face to face. The pros of it are we're face to face and we can like share it on the screen and talk about this. But doing it virtually now is kind of nice because I'm hiding in my bedroom doing it, you know, and you know, some of you I see.
And I'm still at work.
And some of you are at work.
Can you see the lesson plan or no?
No, it's still thinking. So the bummer is it takes forever to virtual. It's not coming up. Oh,
Okay. Oh, no, I just stopped share. That was my fault.
okay.
Let me try that again, see if it'll share this time.
There you go. There it is.
Okay. So this is one of the 3 lesson plans for Unit 1. This is, it says Unit 1 on here, so I'm not sure if the other tasks will have different lesson plans, but this is the one for Unit 1. You're going to tell me the unit, you know, like I said, it's pretty basic in the boxes. The boxes expand as you type. So if you have a lot to tell me, go ahead and keep typing. It will expand for you. All of the boxes need to be filled in for your lesson plan.
And look at that, priority Florida standards for this lesson, topics, concept, skill. This is the same lesson plan that you will see in all of the tasks. It is the same format. That's why I was saying that we're going to merge them together and we're going to, you know, do many of the tasks, but with one lesson plan.
Right. Yeah, you may just have to copy and paste, you know, whatever you need to do. But yeah, definitely. Because here's your differentiation down here or adaptations.
Right.
And your adaptations can be for your ESE kids or your ELL kids. And then further down, it's going to be, I know it's here, an extension or enrichment for your gifted kids or your kids that finished early and need something else to do. What are you going to do for them there? How much time are you allowing? 5 class periods if you're middle school? You know, tell me 5, I don't know how long your classes are, 55 minutes, I think maybe, I'm not sure. 5 55-minute classes, or, you know, as much detail as possible for this lesson plan would be great. What materials and resources do you need? You may not use technology, but I think if you thought about it, a lot of things are technology that you may not think are technology. It doesn't have to be technology in the student's hands. So it could be almost anything that you're using, you could put for technology for teacher or students. If you have any children with an IEP or a 504 that has assistive technology, you would put that here. If they have a typewriter or a word spell or a reading pen or anything like that, you could list that here for them. And then I'm just going to say it again, down here in the additional information section is where you would tell me what lesson plan it is. There's no spot anywhere else. I don't know why there's not, but there's not. So you would put it in the additional information part here. All right, Lisa, did you want me to show anything else on here? Because
No.
I could head over to Canvas. Did anybody have any questions about the state site?
Kelly, what task did you say you're the assessor of? Task 12?
18 and task 4.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I will tell you, my email is not just bishop.kelly. If you need me, it's bishop.kellyl. The other Kelly Bishop will send me your emails, but you know, she has her own life too. So if you need to get a hold of me, but it's correct on the email list that you'll see on Canvas. So if you just click that, it'll be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we get a list of which assessor is in charge of each
Yes.
task?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. It'll be on Canvas. I don't know if you'll get the list, but it'll be on Canvas for you to click on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Brittany said, so she said, so we follow directions on the AltCert site and then
Right.
turn in the work on Canvas. Yes, that's exactly
Yes.
it. You follow the
Okay.
directions because when we go to Canvas, you will see some of the directions are
I'm
there,
getting there.
but they're not as specific.
And the state side is the one that is the big to-do for your PDCP. So everything on the state side is what needs to be. All right, let me see if I can do this. Can you see my launch pad?
Yes.
Yes. Let's see if it'll let me show you Canvas though. Can you see Canvas coming up or no?
Yes, it is. Yep, it's there.
Oh, you can?
Yep.
See, that didn't work last night. I don't know why. Okay, so this is what I see when I come up to Canvas because I'm signed in as an assessor. Yours will come up like Lisa showed you. You'll click on PDCP. And now I'm going to sign in as a student so that you see, or I see what you see. Okay. So this is me signed in as a test student, and I'm going to show you the assignments part not real quick, but you click on the left here to assignments, and this is where all your tasks are. Okay. Now, as a test student, I have not submitted any tasks. Oh wait, I did last night for our sample.
Yeah.
I submitted task 12 and I got 34 out of 36 points. So you'll be able to see your points here. So let's just look at task 4 because that's another one that I grade. Okay, good. So here it'll tell you what attempt you're working on. This is attempt 1 because I haven't submitted anything. Lisa, I'm going to blame you, has come up with the criteria of 3 attempts and then some kind of conversation to figure out what's going on for each task.
Because what happened again, and I hate doing this, is we kind of got burned that some people were saying they would submit, a partial task, and then the assessor would spend a lot of time sending very detailed information back to the participant as to what needs to be fixed, and then the participant would send back a little bit more, and then the assessor would spend lots of time sending back very detailed information, and it was kind of like a cat game. Let's see what we can get away with and not complete to the criteria that was set by the state. So now it's 3 attempts, and the assessors give feedback. They will tell you, you are missing this piece, or I need more information on this, or do you have a question? Do you understand that?
Right.
Maybe here's a video that you could watch. Like when I grade rubrics, a lot of people don't fully understand what a rubric is. So
Right.
I am having one of our content specialists create a video on rubrics, how to build rubrics and how to utilize a rubric, so that you can watch that and have a true understanding of what a rubric is.
Okay. So a lot of times I'll send an email because I know on Blackboard Ultra, or was it Ultra? Blackboard Ultra, they weren't checking the messages that I was sending. So I just have gone to just sending you an email about your task. Here, I think it'll alert you that you get a message. So I'll play with it, but either way, I will send you something if it needs to be resubmitted, and I kind of go through by page by page of what needs to be turned in and tell you what needs to be fixed on that, or that it was great and you don't owe me anything, because that happens a lot too. I don't want you to think that doesn't happen. That happens a lot as well, that it's turned in and it's really good. So here is what needs to be turned in for task 4. This one is task 4. The cover sheet, the indicators, the instructional improvement worksheet, and the goals and strategies for improvement. So 4 items need to be uploaded. And if you want to see how I'm going to grade this task, click on View Rubric. And this is what I look at while I'm grading. If you're going to get 1 point, this is why. Okay. You did not give me a complete student needs worksheet, or your self-assessment hasn't been fully completed. I'm going to tell you right now, if you hand me a self-assessment with all 4s and 5s, I'm going to say, okay, but let's think about what these actually mean, because I've been teaching 22 years and I have a lot of growth still. There's always learning and a lot of growth, and to assign yourself all 4s and 5s in every domain, that's really hard. But to do this task, you need some 1s or 2s, because this is something you're going to work on and improve to those 3s, 4s, and 5s. I am not saying to give yourself all 1s and 2s. Please don't give yourself all 1s and 2s. But really think about what it's asking you, and make sure that you're scoring yourself appropriately.
The
Sorry,
other thing
Lisa.
is when you get a score on this, you cannot have a 1 or a 2. Like when on the rubric part of it, you have to show demonstrated. Okay. You cannot show that you do not know how to do it. All right.
Right. So, but on the, okay, so let me clarify that.
Right.
On your score for the entire task, you cannot have a 1 or 2. But on the self-assessment that you're going to do on task 4, you need to have some 1s and 2s. Maybe not as many 1s. If you're doing really well, not as many 1s, but to do the task, you need to have some 1s or 2s so you can make growth in some areas. So I'll look at the instructional improvement and student needs worksheet, and I'll give a score for that. And then the other score comes from the goals and strategies for improvement, and I'll give a score for that. This one's only worth 8 points, so there's only 2 sections that get a score. So this is the rubric that we all go by when we grade every single one of your tasks. It's going to be attached right here for you to see on every task. So when you want to upload your assignment, I'm going to choose a file to upload. I don't have a task 4 to upload, but I don't know. Oh, here's my sample task, something. So I'm going to choose to upload a couple documents. You can select them all at one time, or you can keep going back to take your file there. I'm going to see if that works. I'm going to drag it over. And as you can see, they are uploading right here. And then when you submit the assignment, you see the documents that, oh, look, it's blank. You see the documents that you uploaded. These are the ones that I had just recently opened, so they're all right here. And then you're going to get a score up in this corner. If it has work that needs to be done, we are going to give you 0 points until you resubmit. So if you see a 0, that means you need to resubmit. There's going to be feedback right here to tell you. And I like to personally send an email. I'm not sure what all the assessors do.
Everybody else does too, just for that documentation, and then it gets that conversation going.
Okay, good. So you'll most likely get an email if there's something for you to resubmit. And then you would come in and click try again. Nice little button there. And you would upload your documents again, and then you would get another score. Okay. Any questions on submitting the assignments?
You don't just resubmit what was requested, you resubmit everything again?
You're going to want to resubmit everything again so that I can see it all, because that's the file. Once you get your score, your final grade, that's the file you're going to want to save on your USB drive. You're not going to want to save all your attempts.
Okay.
You want to save the one that counted so it doesn't get confusing for everybody.
Right.
And do you tell us that, well, once we see our score as a passing score, we don't have to submit it anymore, or?
No.
Okay,
Once you have passed it with the correct amount of points, you don't have to resubmit it again. That's when I would go save it to my USB drive.
okay,
Because now you know that's the one that worked and it's passed and you're good to go.
all right. Thank you.
Okay? Mhm. All right. So I'm staying in student view. If you want to come over here to grades, this right here is where you'll see all your grades by each of the tasks. So you can see task 4 has been submitted, but it's not graded yet. And for this sample student, I did a fake grade yesterday for 34 points. So that shows up on my grade sheet right here. I would always try and verify that these match your state site points and grades. So if there's any discrepancy, we can fix it or figure out what happened. But these are all your tasks right here for your grades. And then let me find, because it's not in the right spot, under modules, which I'm not quite sure why it's named modules. These are a lot of the documents that need to be updated, but Lisa, I'll help you. We can get those updated. You know, it won't take very long to upload new documents. I may change the name of that from modules though. So Lisa had us last year do a Meet Your Mentors booklet. So if you wanted to meet who we are, a lot of us are still the same. I think there's 1 or 2 that might not be here anymore, but you can read about us, see us, whatever. We're in here. And then let's go back. Yes. Okay, so here's all those files. A lot of these are on the state side as well. The PDCP completion list, we're going to change, but the portfolio task list, that just lists all the portfolio tasks in order. This is the one that I think you asked about.
Yes.
Okay. So here is the, I'm scrolling the wrong button, sorry. Here is the tasks by the assessors. And here's where our emails are linked. So see how mine, you can just click there and not worry about the L in my name. But by tasks, so you know who to email. A couple of these will change, but I don't know if many of them will. So that's a direct email to us, and that'll make it easier for you to send us emails or ask us questions about what to do, or, you know, anything like that. Everything is right there for you. All right, 1, I think.
All right.
And then see, no task order and work time anymore, because you can work them in any order you want to.
So my recommendation is that you go in and just kind of play around in Canvas.
Right.
Get familiar with it, and then go into the state site